Well, top of the Sunday morning to you. Most people think Sunday's for football, but those people did not grow up around ice. And it's hockey time on Sunday. Let's do it. Take a look at what happened yesterday on Saturday. I hope you had these people. I hope you were a winner. I had a few of them. I passed over Fiala because I'm a moron. I saw him and I was like, I should take him, and I didn't. And he put up 2 goals. I had so many different lineups too, and I did not grab Fiala in one of them. But I had some success. I cashed with a couple. And Stefan I did not have, so screw me again. But Fiala was predictable because he had a huge night the other night, like a couple days ago. So you should have had him. Crowder I didn't pick up. Kessel I didn't pick up. Taylor Hall I didn't pick up. Camilleri I didn't pick up. Can you believe I didn't pick up Camilleri after what I've been talking about? All these people I didn't pick. Laine I did because Laine's got a snipe bucket as a stick. He's unbelievable shooting the puck. Laine's great. Eberle, I didn't think that Edmonton was going to do anything against Anaheim last night. I loaded up on Gibson and Anaheim, and man, when they lost in overtime, it sucked. It turned what would have been a bigger cash into just a smaller cash. So, but anyway, Provorov on Philly, he's cheap. If you had him, he can do that. He can have a big point night like he did yesterday. If you had him, good for you. I've had him previously in the last week. Didn't take him yesterday. All these people that I passed over. So I've been looking at Camilleri. How do you not take Camilleri? Do you not like the matchup? Whatever. Anyway, those are the people that scored big. And now let's take a look at today, Sunday, and say, what are we going to do today? How are we going to make us a winner? And I'm going to show you the 2 early games because those are the games I focused on today, and then there's some 6 o'clock games as well. But just the 2 games at 3 o'clock, 3 and 5 o'clock. You've got Montreal taking on LA, and you've got Tampa Bay taking on Carolina. Now, Carey Price is on the road for Montreal. Out in LA, Montreal is not as solid on the road, and they start to fall apart later in the fall like this as they go into the new year. I like LA in that game, and I like some LA guys. I don't like the Montreal guys too much, even though I grabbed a lineup with a few of them here. I'll show you who to take. And then you got Tampa Bay, Carolina, which Tampa Bay has some nice people on offense, and so does Carolina. I think either one of those teams can score some goals, so I would rather load up in that game a little bit more than this game. But let's take a look at everybody, kind of showing you over the periods of time. I've added some things into this file to show now not just points, but cost per point and salary, the current DraftKings salary of the player. So this way, areas in green in the middle there, like the areas that you see when you see a cell kind of show up in green, that means they scored a lot of points, or it means their cost per point was cheap if you're looking at that middle chunk there. And then, of course, their salary is cheap if it's green, or the higher salary is in red. So kind of that middle chunk where there's a green or red, that is interesting to see what you're really paying per point for the player, whether it's justified to pay a high salary for a big player. That's kind of why I added that little calculated field in there in this pivot table. So looking at what happens, what has been happening, I had Brian Little and Lyon yesterday. They're also playing today, so I don't know how you don't take them. You have to. You have to. You heard it from Kensaw first. Yeah, they're playing in the later games, but I'm gonna focus more on the 2 later games, or sorry, the 2 earlier games, because those are the ones I've already crafted entries for, and I haven't really done a lot of research into the later 5 games yet. And I don't think I'm gonna do a second video today, but I kind of want to show you my thinking about how I'm digging through the 2 games that are earlier. But look at all these people. What I've learned about looking at this file and then looking back at the results the next day is that people that are filtering up there to the top of the list that you see, the reason people's names come up on the top of the list here when I'm browsing is it's because their average DraftKings point total is the highest at whatever dimension we're looking at when when we're using these filters and kind of when we're browsing through here. So people's names that pop up on top are there for a reason. And they're good people to pick. So you see I have a lot of people highlighted when they're at the top of their next kind of outlined level here. The first power play 1 first line person with the most points is Jeff Skinner. That's why I'm choosing him. On power play 2, the highest point guy is Victor Rask. Why I'm picking him. not on the power play, whatever. So I like certain guys that are trending up, that are showing cheaper, better value, cheaper cost per point, and the ones that can go off and have big point nights. Kopitar's back and has put up a few points just recently, even though I he seems at the first. So go with Kopitar. Dwight King is a surpriser there that I'm not used to grabbing. Drew Doughty, you need somebody on D in this game. I don't know if you take Muzzin, you take Martinez, Carter, Toffoli. Carter's the one that can blow up and go crazy, and Toffoli can pick up some assists, and Martinez can score. Duster Brad. Yeah, there's. If you're going to craft some entries, you need like 2 to 3 entries to really grab everything on LA that could potentially happen. I don't think you have much to worry about with. Yeah, I'm showing LA again, and I'm opening up to show you why Jeff King is really on top there, because he just had a rough couple games, but that'll happen. He'll bounce back. He's going to be scoring. Now Martinez can get a goal from the point. It can be any one of those guys or a couple of them. I think they're going to put some goals on Price on the road today, just because Montreal, they're not feeling it. Montreal hasn't been playing well the last 10, and Gabrick has been looking great. So there's a little cheap. He's not that cheap, but a little cheaper sleeper. Montreal, so I don't know. LA's been playing very well. I don't see Montreal scoring a lot of goals in this game. They once in a while they do explode, but I see that more at home and not against a team that's playing as well as LA's been playing. So I have limited guys that I want to pick up here. Weber, Galechnik. I think Radulov is out today. Actually, I think he's injured. My lines may not even be updated here. Shaw is the one I like. He's the one who showed some potential recently. And Lettinen scored late yesterday, I believe. The last game I saw, I think he scored. So I'd side with Weber, Shaw. Markov has not been producing lately. I'm staying away from him. I usually highlight him, but I'm not this time. How about the Lightning? So Cam Ward's pretty good, and Carolina is at home. So I don't think Tampa is going to score as much as usual. I don't know how you skip over Kucherov though. And Johnson's there. Kucherov, Johnson, and who's there? Hedman. Hedman. Schuster is another guy I picked up here just in case they get some goals. But you really need to have, you got to think about Palat, Kucherov, Hedman. There's going to be somebody. They'll probably get 1 goal on Cam Ward today. I think it seems like a 3-1, 3-2 type thing. I think Carolina is going to beat Tampa Bay just because they're at home and they do have some scoring that's mildly. Carolina's lost, I think, 3 out of the last 4, but it's been close games and they've been on the road bouncing back. I think they'll probably beat Tampa Bay, but you have to have some safety and keep some Tampa Bay guys because they really do have a pretty good offense. So looking at everybody, yeah, I like Kucherov. I like Kopitar. You can see there's people I didn't highlight that are up on top of that list. Jordan Nolan, I believe that's a one-off because he's a 4th line. Paquette, I actually picked him up yesterday, but that's probably a one-off. Lettinen's not a bad grab. But those are the people that I would take here, and I've created about 4 lineups today and messed around to see if I can pull something off. I keep getting close. Getting real close, but not really piercing the top 10 or top 50 of the big tournaments. So I'm going to get there. I can smell it. And Ken sucks out. We'll talk to you later.